Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Podcast, episode 199. I'm Ticketmaster, joined by my fellow co-hosts this week, who are...
RPG Maniac 05, Trioptical,
and Gamer 12 filling in for Mr. DSLR.
He is Mr. DSLR.
This week's segments, we have What's Been Playing, followed by Gamers, Are They Never Satisfied? ? And the news. But first, I wanted to take the time out to thank our commenters who had a comment for us last episode. So, first we have Kinji, who says, Spec Ops completely blew me away. I was not expecting such a great single-player campaign out of this title, but I love how it's a military first-person shooter that actually shows post-traumatic stress disorder and the mental, psychological side effects of war, also that you're battling fellow soldiers and civilians in an amazing environment.
I think he's reading far too deep into that.
I really felt for the squad and was tripping out alongside Walker during some of the cutscenes, and could see where the line had been crossed, and there was no going back. +1 on the multiple... Oh, there's multiple endings. +1 on the multiple endings as well. I also think Tribes Ascend and Blacklight Retribution shows how the free-to-play model can be done. Just have to be ingenious with what you have and how you offer it. And then we have Steve, who says, nonsense. Free-to-play is garbage. Constant DLC packs wouldn't stop people from wanting new games in the same series.
Wow, way to be an optimist, dude.
So thanks for the replies, and keep on coming, and keep on listening.
Yeah.
Woo! And now we can go into what you've been playing. So, RPG, have you been playing anything this week?
Yeah, you know, same old, same old. I mean, my defense, though.
Did you buy any of those 3DS games for the system you don't have?
Well, yeah, they're all pre-ordered technically, so I mean, once the release date comes,
You're locked in.
So yeah, they are there. I was really tempted to buy Rhythm Thief, and I was like, I really can't do this. I don't have a console for it. What's the point? But I don't know. I don't know, guys. I have a problem, and
I have it too.
So when you get Kingdom Hearts, are you just gonna
stare at it? Basically, that's probably.
Think about playing it.
Can't do anything to it. Got my console, so yeah. Although I'm thinking about getting an XL when it comes out anyway, so nice. I would have to August regardless. So I don't know.
It's only 2 weeks. Two weeks, right?
No, because I think it comes out like at the end of August or something for us. So
it's the 21st, right?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah,
14. So much crap coming out that time.
Damn.
Same day as Transformers.
Oh noes.
When does Sleeping Dogs come out?
14th.
Around that time.
Dang it.
14th is Darksiders, is it? Or no, Darksiders is...
Darksiders is 14th, yeah. It was pushed out.
Darksiders, Sleeping Dogs.
Just kidding. So everything's coming out on the 14th then.
Oh no, XL is the 19th.
Oh, even better. That's 1 day earlier.
That's right. Do the Sunday thing.
Oh, wow.
Good job, Nintendo. Good job. Way to spam us with stuff. Jerks. But yeah. No, I've just been playing Dark Cloud and Devil Survivor. But then my DS died, so I had to let it charge, and it's been doing that ever since. So that's pretty much it.
Dark Cloud 1 or 2?
2.
That's the right answer.
I mean, for one, what would have happened?
I'm just saying, you know, there's a correct answer to that question, and that was it.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same way every time you ask it, so, you know, if anybody says anything different, punch him in the face.
That seems...
Like your renegade shepherd.
Oh, that's the only playthrough I have. It's the only mode I know.
Okay, so yeah, there's the Steam sale, and even though I didn't play these games, I'm just going to rattle them all off just to show the value that is the awesome Steam Summer and Winter sale.
Is it really kind of value if you bought all these and not play them? Or
RPG, hey, it's for a rainy day when there's no games to play. And
that's what you say, but then I feel like you can have these games for years, and then it's like, oh, remember that one time I bought all those games from Steam? Yeah.
I'm working on it. Okay, backlogs take time to clear and stuff.
Uh-huh.
No, it would take time if you'd stop playing Mass Effect 3.
It's true. Like,
I'm trying to develop a plan where I can play games from my backlog and games that are like my primary game and still make progress. But I'm still working in progress. And yeah, so these are games I got: the Triton Bundle, Mafia 1, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Bastion, Red Faction Guerrilla, Cave Story, Metro 2033, Dear Esther, Psychonauts, the Batman Harley Quinn DLC, Just Cause 2, Stalker Clear Sky, Stalker Call of Pripyat, Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition, Super Meat Boy, Bit Trip Collection, The Witcher 2, Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, Fallout New Vegas Ultimate, The Walking Dead, Indie Game the Movie, Far Cry, Arma 2 Combined Operations, and Quantum Conundrum with the Season Pass. All that for the low Steam sale price of $153.41.
oh my.
It's like a low price. Wow.
Yeah.
That is less than three
It is really
full-price
low,
games.
actually.
It's low.
Well,
but-
considering all the stuff you just rattled off.
Not only is it lower than that, it's lower than like all three versions of my Mass Effect 3 combined. So it's like
Yeah.
I spent even less buying those
Have
than
all
I
three
spent buying the only game I bought this year. So yeah,
Yeah.
I also picked up Tales of Vesperia from Newegg for like $16 and Binary Domain for like $10 off Amazon. So
That
yeah,
game is hilarious.
and it's still less than three. Even with that added, it's still less than 3 full price games, which I will soon be getting with the what's that game, Resident Evil and Transformers and Far Cry and all that stuff this fall. So yeah, listen to all those combined.
Best step.
See, a gamer says he's a changed man all the time, but I think I'm a changed man as well. Cause like,
Texas decided to take over for him. Is what happened.
Because after this, I was like, it'd been a long time since I'd bought anything, and I was all like, on my one game a month. But I was like, even more than that, like more extreme than that now, because like I hadn't bought anything since Mass Effect, barely. So I was like, I'd barely buy anything. I like, kind of forgot what it felt like, and I had like all this money in my bank account. And I was like, it's not really doing me any good sitting in there and just collecting itself.
Wow, what a way.
Right, that must be awful.
It really does burn holes in pockets.
Well, it does. I was like, well, I can afford it, so might as well splurge a bit. So, and then after this, I was like, my strategy now is to like, I've already got since I've gotten the games I wanted, because those are all games I wanted, and like some of I had on my wish list. Like I'm like in the winter sale, I'm not gonna buy any. I'm just gonna get like DLC for stuff that I have that I haven't bought yet. So there's a bunch of like Civilization 5 DLC and that one game I barely play, Killing Floor. So that I wanted to buy that, but I was like, I already have the full game. I don't need the DLC. So I was like, DLC can come in the winter when it's like even cheaper. So yeah. And then let's see. Also, I think like after playing so much Mass Effect and just like cracking out on it like nonstop, since that's kind of how I play games, I'll just like crack out and like until I finish it. And then like in the case of Mass Effect, where I finish it and I just can't stop playing it. It's like I just keep on playing it. So it's like after this fall, I'm gonna have like a moratorium on game purchases, so I can like finally get caught up. And that is like so I can finally get my like backlog plan started and just like playing stuff in my backlog and be like, the only game I'm getting that comes out next year is Grand Theft Auto 5. Everything else can go F itself, because Mass Effect Trilogy is finished, so it's like nowhere to go but down from there. So
Or they can make like spin-offs and stuff. Though.
well, if it's Mass Effect related RPG, obviously, but it's like if it doesn't say Mass Effect on the box or not related to that universe, F it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like Borderlands or something. There's something I'm already a really big fan of that was like current gen, that was like new, and I was like, ooh, yay, more of that, awesome. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like what else I've been playing? Final Fantasy The 8 Rhythm still. I just unlocked Genova in the challenge thingy. I have like 30-something thousand Rhythmia, so slowly unlocking everything. And I still have none of the new bonus characters. Right now what I'm doing is I'm going through each song in basic and then expert mode and getting perfect chains through them all with like the like title character selected, and then also like having nothing equipped. So it's like I get the stoke bonus on top of the points, so you get like a higher rank. And I think if you get like all S rank, you get like more stuff unlocked. So I'll do that on like basic and expert, and then Ultimate, we'll see, because it's kind of hard, so once I get there, we'll see. And then I'm hoping by the time I get to that, I'll have enough arrhythmia to have unlocked, like, a ton of other crap that, like, I haven't unlocked yet, so. Because it takes a long time to level stuff up, or not level stuff up, but unlock stuff in that game, so it's like, just like an RPG, it is a grind sometimes, so. I also got my 3rd triple S rank on a song, so yeah, it's hard, but, well, it's not hard, it's just, like, it's frustrating when you're, like, trying to, and, like, you're going along and you're getting, like, critical, and then, like, the next note comes along and it's, like, great, and you're like, oh, I have to start all over, it's like, oh, it can get so frustrating, you have to, like, get perfect on every note, like, But it's possible, so, yeah. Let's see. What else have I been... Oh, Gears of War 3. I played that for the first time in months yesterday, and I gotta say, I forgot how good that game looked, and as much flack as the Unreal Engine 3 has taken on this podcast in the past, it does look very good still, and it was fun.
I never said anything bad about the Unreal Engine 3.
Well, yeah, not you, but other people on here, so, yeah.
Oh, I think he's talking about you.
I crapped on it a bit too, but
I think it's like, no shit, they built the engine.
That's true. You would expect
like
them to do good things with it, right?
Yeah, it was really cool when like the first time I played it in months, and like we're on the I think it was the dry dock stage, and then like we're on wave 20, and all of a sudden like this Brumac spawns on the boss wave, and it's just like and like ginormous, and like explosions and light everywhere. It's just awesome. So I'll be uploading that to YouTube eventually. That's like an hour-long video or something crazy, because I forgot how long Horde mode was in Gears, and compared to Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, which is just 10 waves. We only got to like wave 30, and then like everybody quit, and I was like, I wanted to play more, but nobody else did. So.
Sorry.
What else did I play?
Oh, we didn't play
Transformers. I did not play that.
No.
How's it my fault?
No. I was there.
I was going to say something. You made me completely forget RPG.
Good.
About Gears of War.
Revenge.
Okay. After going back and playing it and looking at like my stats and stuff, like I was looking at all the unlockable stuff, and like there's a ton of crap to unlock in that game. So like, if you want a game that has like a lot of like I'm not gonna say replayability, but there's a lot of stuff to unlock there. If you really like it and you get into it, you can just play, and there's like always stuff to unlock. So I was like, oh, that's what kept me playing. Like I was almost level 20. I was like, oh, let me see what I get, and I'll get to level 20. So, but then it wasn't anything awesome. And I was like, oh, well, I'll go back to playing something else now. Goodbye. Goodbye, Gears of War 3. That was fun, and see you later. But basically, what it is, I'm doing like this series of before I go to like the abandoned and dead multiplayer games that are still out there that people play. Because I called them dead last time. I'm like going through like a series of like co-op games that have like, or games that have co-op mode online, and like seeing if people are still playing it, and like what the population is like, and like it's like really awesome people are still playing. And I was like let that lead into like what else I've been playing. So I also I was like browsing through my games on my 360, and I was like, what was Virtual Ontario Tanagram or whatever. So like I need like the last achievement in that game to get like 10 ranked wins or 10 ranked matches. And like I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just like randomly pop it in because it's already on the hard drive. Like boot it up, see if anybody's playing, and the most hilarious thing happened. Like not only was someone playing, but like I jumped into the first match, they kicked the crap out of me. Jumped into the second match with them, and they still destroyed me. After I went back to like the menu to like see how to play, because I was like, oh, I'll just jump in and push buttons and see what happens. And then like I was doing a bit better, but they still like destroyed me. And so like I went to my like friends list where you can like see the profile of who you're playing with, and like it was some dude from Texas, and like in his profile he's like, yeah, second best virtual on player in Texas. And I was like, oh well, awesome. That was great to just be some dude's training dummy for like two matches. That was fun. And he just like destroyed me. That was hilarious. And then I couldn't get another match, so like now my ranked match in Virtual On is like 0-4 or 0-5, and I still need like 6 matches. So if you're out there, someone with the game that wants to play,
don't do it.
I just need like 5 or 6 more matches, and I get all the achievements in that game. Yes, but I don't. So not yet.
I don't have live anymore. Yeah, that happened to me once too when I was trying to get it. It was just one guy, but we were more evenly matched than that.
Yeah, it's like my record was like 0 and like 2, and then when I was finished playing, it was like 0 and 4. His was like something 100 and like 20 something. I was like, holy crap, this guy's really good. And I played him, I was like, yeah, that guy's really good. And I looked at his profile, I was like, oh, obviously, you're second best player in Texas, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Go me. Har har. And then, let's see what else I've been playing besides that. Mass Effect 2. So I went back to play Mass Effect 2. I finally got my Renegade into Mass Effect 3. So, but the problem here is that there are 4 variants of my Renegade. So, that is just like the tip of the spear, because not only, cause the one I got in was like the Renegade that destroys the base. So I need to import in the Renegade that keeps the base, and then I have a save even before that is like the Samara loyalty mission, something I could not bring myself to do. It's like me killing Rex in the first game. I just couldn't do it. It's like, oh, I gotta do it, but I can't. I gotta, for the sake of seeing what happens in the third game. So it's like, I have to make a choice with Samara. Stuff goes down bad, but it's like, my favorite character, I just couldn't bring myself to it. So it's like, yeah, I have to go back and do that and be all sad and hate myself for like a day. And those are like the other 2 variants of like the keep and destroy, where I don't have Samara. So sad face, but we'll see.
It's okay, she deserved it. She knows what she did.
Oh, that's the other cool thing is like, when I was playing through, and since I was playing Renegade, and I talked to her to like see if I had any new dialogue with any of the squad mates still. Like, I got that dialogue when she tells you that, where she's like, I've seen you do too many things that would compel me to violence if I were not under oath to you. Because we're in a dialogue, and she's like, I want to thank you, Shepard, for being a friend to me. And I'm like, I want to be more. And she's like, yeah, that's not happening. She totally turned me down. I was like, oh, Shepard got shot down. Oh, Samara. Oh, you're just cold, aren't you? You're cold-hearted and sorry. Well.
Yeah, she's cold, all right. Ow. She's also dead and buried.
But yeah, Mass Effect 2, that's where I'm at. It's like weird, because like, whenever I go back to play that, I feel drained for some reason. I don't know why. It's like, I've already played through it. I don't really want to play through it anymore, but it's like, I know I have to get all my rest of my Shepards in, so it's like, I guess I'll... I don't know, because it just doesn't feel as fresh anymore. Like, there's just so much crap I still have to do in that game every time I load up profile, because there's like, all the characters I haven't finished all the DLC with or side quests with, so it's like, So yeah, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. And then, oh man. Okay, let me apologize before I start Mass Effect 3, because, like, new new classes. Yeah, new and 7 classes. So I did not play with them last week, but with dudes, and ladies, let me tell you. So new favorite class in the game, N7 Fury, ADAP, so good. Not only are they so good, their outfit is like so cool, because it's like a bit Kasumi, but a bit like they have like armor with it. So it's like, oh, it's not like full Kasumi, but it's like Kasumi, and afterwards like, oh yeah, I'm awesome Kasumi, yeah, it's the ADAP Ninja, wah! So they have like what's that ability called? The one that Javik has, I can't think of it, where it like spreads from
Dark Channel.
Yes, Dark Channel. That ability, just, it's over. Like that and throw, and freaking their third freaking ability is called Annihilation Field. How can you say a class isn't awesome if their ability is called Annihilation Field? You can't, because they are. Awesome. Because that is just like, I have Annihilation Field. What does it do? It kills stuff. Because it's Annihilation Field.
Well, I would hope so. It's like false advertising.
Oh, what Annihilation Field does? Oh, it nothing. It just,
it makes sparkles in a shield.
Shines and so bright. Wee, the light, woo! But, man, they just, like, destroy. Like, they, like, set up bad combinations with basically those 2 abilities. Well, I think, not so much Dark Channel, but... Oh, hey, actually, yeah, because, like, you Dark Channel something, and then you throw onto it, and it's just, like, brrr, and then, like, Annihilation Field, I didn't know what it was when I was playing, but then I noticed that, like, you can... It does something... I'll look it up, because I'm not sure right now. But it's cool because, like, when you activate it, it's kind of like Tech Armor, but it's not, because it's like Tech Armor because like it's ability that you like can that you passively like activate. But like when you activate it, it like does this animation, and like the animation does damage to like the enemies or enemies. So, like I didn't notice that when I was playing. Well, I noticed that when I was playing. It's like, oh, that's so cool. So yeah, and then okay, just go down the list real fast. There's like the N7 Soldier. Like my initial impressions were like, it's okay. Like. People say it's an awesome class, but I think I did my tech tree wrong, because I had like the missile to where it was like more damage, but it wasn't doing a lot of damage. So I was like, oh, that's kind of effed up. But it was cool how they had like the whole like Iron Man like self-firing rocket, or not rocket, but missile launcher on my shoulder. That's pretty cool. And like the Devastator mode's really interesting. Let's see. And then we have the Demolisher Engineer. They're cool. Well, the thing is, like, all the new classes are cool, but it's like the engineer is like interesting to me because they're just so different from all the other engineers because they don't have tech. They don't have tech abilities. It's basically grenade abilities. So, and their little pylon that spits stuff out. And then the in Seven Shadow Space Ninja, it's interesting. Not as fun as I was hoping because it's too melee centric, but eh. And then like them and the Vanguards, who are the I forgot what they're called, something Slayers. Yeah, they have like the weird animation that plays when they do their like long range ability. So it's like it's cool, but it's like you take damage while that's happening, so it's like not as effective. So it's not as effective. You just have like an opening to be attacked when that's happening. So it's like And like they have this like weird attack when they like shoot out like a particle beam from their hand, which is really cool, but it like depletes your barrier. So it's like, ooh, that's like a double-bladed sword there. So you have to be like, am I gonna use this or not use this? And then let's see, that's 5, I think. So yeah, Soldier, Engineer, Adept, Vanguard, Infiltrator. Okay, in the last class, my new favorite class. Well, okay, next to the Fury, my new second favorite class.
This guy
would be the N7 Platin Sentinel, because oh my gosh, dude, it's like, okay, so it's cool what they did here, because Sentinel is like supposed to be like half biotic, half tech, but this Sentinel is like not biotic at all. It's just full out tech. So it's kind of like an engineer, but they feel more empowering than an engineer because okay, so basically their abilities. They have Energy Drain, best anti-shield ability in the game, in my opinion. They have Incinerate, one of the best anti-armor abilities in the game. And they have, what's that third? Oh, Snap Freeze. So basically Snap Freeze, just like, it's like, how do I describe this ability? It's just, it's so good.
People. You're welcome.
But that's the thing, RPG. It's like, it's so much better than that though, because you freeze them, but you have like a shield. So it's like you can freeze them and then use your shield, and that's like instant kill. It's like shield after freeze, instant kill. And like not only that, but like the thing about Snap Freeze is like you have cryo ammo and like cryo freeze abilities, but like those things do not like. I think cryo freeze sometimes snap freezes, but not always. And then cryo ammo takes time to snap freeze. Snap freeze itself is a instant snap freeze, so it's like instant freeze, and like they're just instantly frozen, as opposed to like those two abilities that do the same thing but do not instantly do that to them. So it's like they're instantly frozen, and once that happens, like if you either incinerate, which you also have, that's like a cryo explosion, or you can use your shield and they're just instantly dead. So it's like Sentinel just got more awesome with this new Sentinel, and I'm just like, I love you, BioWare. Thank you for making this class. F the haters for being like, oh, Sentinel's supposed to have biotic powers and half tech. F them. So yeah, thanks for making this class so awesome, so good, so fun. And the Fury, because I will never get tired of playing that class. It's like Little Red Riding Hood on biotics. Because
wait,
if you make
what?
Because it's like if you make her red, she looks like a Little Red Riding Hood. It's like her outfit. It's like, oh, and she has a gun, so it's like, and like she has those cool biotic powers, so it's like, so it's like.
Little Red Riding Hood carried guns around all the time.
That's what I'm saying. If Little Red Riding Hood was a biotic killer, she'd be an N7 Fury, and she'd be killing people and stuff, and it'd be awesome. And that's all I've been playing. Mass Effect 3. Oh, before I stop, the Kushina Mass Effect 3. There's another weekend operation, which is like, you have to extract with at least one N7 DLC character, or I mean Earth DLC character in your party, and then like the extraction wave is longer because we failed the last operation. And then, like, we have to get, like, 800,000 combined extractions with the characters in the weekend operation. It's called Overwatch, so yeah. Can't wait. I'll be playing all weekend long, so if you want to play, just let me know in the comments, and I'll totally help you out and stuff. Yeah, Mass Effect 3. Oh, so good. Yeah.
Play with Tekken, he's a jerk.
And that's all I've been playing.
He leaves people behind.
That was one-time RPG. Are you, like, never going to let us forget that, seriously?
Basically. It happens.
Well, maybe I should always leave you behind and be like, you know what, RPG?
You do always
I'm
leave him
just
behind.
die.
Remember the time we were playing Payday the Heist and you kind of just ran ahead of us? You just left us there to get, like, shot by the waves.
I remember correctly. I don't think you've ever revived me in Payday the Heist, but I revived you like 5 times.
You didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve it.
I deserved it. Really?
It's like,
I deserved it.
hey, team, I'm just going to go run ahead and screw the pooch on this one and let you guys handle that. Thanks a lot.
Was that the one we were so close to the end?
We were.
And he ran first.
You know what?
He doesn't care about the team. Tekken never cares about the team.
And we had to do like replay it like 3 times.
Hey, that just so close. Okay, I was there. I could have got it for us. Just saying.
Except that you didn't, because we all got killed. So I mean,
Over. If Commander Sherry was there, he'd been like,
crying out loud,
and to survive and stuff. Because that's what happens in the Suicide Mission RPG. Sometimes people die, like Samara. Just saying. They don't always make it.
She deserved it, though. She had it coming.
How about that? Maybe you deserved it.
I didn't. Because I was trying to help the team. I wasn't threatening the team and telling them I was going to kill them after the mission was done.
Pretty sure I didn't say that.
I was talking about Samara, not you.
Oh, well, you're just one person RPG. She didn't say that the whole team. She said that to you, so...
Yeah, well, still.
Did you see that video, Tekken, where that one dude soloed Platinum?
No.
And all he had was like the Typhoon and the Geth plasma shotgun. And he soloed it Platinum. That's crazy. Like with the Geth plasma shotgun, it took 3 shots to a Phantom, and it killed him right away. Like the Atlas, he just used a Typhoon, which is the new machine gun. Oh my god, it took him down like seconds. And we were having trouble in the first fucking wave, and he took him soloed the entire fucking round. God.
So, is it the guns that are really... Like,
Yeah,
how do you
he
get
had them
stronger?
maxed out. He had them 10.
Okay.
So he had like 50 shotgun rounds, so that helped him. And every time there was a Phantom, 3 shots, it was killed right away. We had so much trouble, I don't know, when we were playing. It was like, for this guy,
really
it was like
funny.
no problem.
Because we started and I was like, huh, there's no one. I don't see anyone. It's like, maybe they're all cloaked. I was like, oh my gosh, they're all cloaked.
That was crazy.
Insane.
Before someone else goes, I just wanted to mention that the new Left 4 Dead 2 DLC map thingy, Coldstream, available now. I will be playing that later, as well as the Gamer Just Said new Payday stuff.
Coldstream was available for Left 4 Dead 2 already.
Yeah.
It was in beta. Now it's finished, quote-unquote finished. It was okay. It was an okay campaign. It was not the best, though, compared to the ones in the official ones.
My Steam is like 5 new campaigns. I was like, what? 5 new campaigns? I thought there was just one. So maybe.
Oh no, they also ported one of the last Left 4 Dead map.
Oh, good. I haven't played that game in a long time. Drop to goal.
Yes. Oh, so I got to play Mass Effect 3 for the first time. That was fun. Yeah, you heard my story. Invisible Platinum Squad. That was... Tekken could have beat that one. Maybe. It seemed like he could have beat that last guy.
It was impossible. It was
But,
like the shields were charging as soon as it was like...
I'll just throw my grenades to drain his shields. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just like keeps coming back so fast. Yeah, maybe not. It was very exciting though. Of course, I was dead already. What happened? I think mostly I've been playing Battlefield. I'm on the PC version now, so that's fun.
Yay.
It's really different because well, it might be because of the server I chose. So I was going through servers and I found one. It's a 64 player, which was I think the big difference at first. I was like, oh, that's right, Battlefield 3 on PC, you can have way more players. Like, okay, that's cool. And the server I'm on is just 24/7 Operation Metro, so it's basically entirely infantry. And then the one sort of custom rule that they have is you can't use explosives. So no grenade launchers, no grenades, no claymores, nothing. It's supposed to be purely gun on gun.
Nice.
And it's a conquest one, so there's like 3 spots. And one of them, the middle one, is basically from one side, you're basically running straight on, and then there's a wall, and then behind the wall is these escalators that lead down. So it's really good to have the top spot, because the running up the escalator with guys shooting down at you is really hard. And I think there's one other route. There's like a staircase to the left, or to one side of the escalator. And yeah, essentially you just have these giant firefights where everyone is standing at these 2 points shooting back and forth at each other. It's crazy, but yeah, compared to the console version, you level up way faster, because I think it's just because there's more guys to shoot, there's more guys to heal, and you can't fire anywhere without getting a suppression assist, because everyone is there. Pretty awesome. In one round, we had the high ground, and I decided, I'm just gonna go all medic. So I just had my defibrillator out, and I was running around. Every time I saw someone go down, I would run across the battlefield, hopping. You know how you see the unrealistic, I'm gonna dodge gunfire by jumping across the battlefield. Did that a lot. Healed a lot of people. Yeah, it was really fun. I guess I can go through my
Steam haul.
Yes, my Steam haul.
So basically, everything that was on sale?
It was crazy. No, not really. I went and looked for stuff that I would be interested in playing. I ended up getting... Actually, I think I only bought 2 things for myself. I got the THQ package, which has Company of Heroes, and the Warhammer 40,000
See, I wanted
series.
Warhammer Gold Pack, but I didn't. I was like, I want to get it, but I'll wait till next time.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, feeling like some real-time strategy, which I think those games are.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, it also came with Titan Quest, Saints Row the Third, Stalker, Darksiders, I think, was in there. So a lot of different things. I also, on Tekken's recommendation, got Indie Game, the movie. Haven't watched it yet, so looking forward to that. And also Quantum Conundrum, because it was cheaper than consoles, like way cheaper.
Yep.
So that was good. Beyond that, though, yeah, it's mostly just been SimCity Social, the game that I don't really have to spend much time on. Essentially, what it's boiled down to right now. Well, okay, so first of all, we talked about free-to-play last week, or last time, and then last week there was an article that popped up on IGN about free-to-play, and they had examples of like when it's done well, when it's not done well, and one of their examples was in the good category was if you have sort of like premium currency, give out a lot of the premium currency, because I don't know, it doesn't feel like as much of sort of like, I guess, a money making scheme that really doesn't benefit the player at all. And then pretty soon after that, SimCity Social started their sort of Olympic-themed minigame campaign. And essentially what you do is, so you can build these sports venues in the city, and then every once in a while, sort of like in Farmville, you have to wait a while for it to generate its resource. But yeah, so you collect these sports tokens from each of them. And then using these sports tokens, you can essentially trade them in. And the context of the game is you're actually competing in these events, but essentially what you're doing is you're trading these tokens in for medals that give you points, and then at different point tiers, you get different rewards that you can use beyond just this sports campaign. And a lot of those are diamonds, which is the premium currency in the game. And I saw that, I was like, wow, they're actually going to give away a lot of diamonds here. This is really cool. This is what they categorize as good, and I would agree. So it's been very exciting. I've been trying to max out the number of sports tokens I can get a day. I figured out I have, my limiting factor, I think, is the amount of energy I have at one time. So I have 31 energy, which takes around an hour and a half to recharge. And by coincidence, I have 31 sporting venues that I just sort of stamped out everywhere there was land available in my city. And so now every hour and a half I can go on and just, I don't even have to watch it. I can just click on all of them and then just leave. And it takes a little bit longer than it takes me to click for it to actually gather everything. But yeah, I can get around 30-some tokens every hour and a half. And I've been using those. I'm trying to get... at first I was going for the 500 diamond pack, which is, I think it's 5,000. So you need 500 medals. But now that I'm actually playing it, it's I don't know if I can reach this. It's going to take a lot of effort. So, yeah, we'll see. But it's really cool. I mean, I guess these are still the early days of SimCity Social, so it's hard to say. But it feels like they're doing a lot to sort of improve the game and things like that. They actually changed some of the graphics recently, where they...
Yeah.
The bakery, before it was sort of a French bread on the top, but from the distances that you see the building from, it never reminded me of a bakery. So they switched it sort of it has a cupcake sign now. It's oh, okay, that means bakery more. And then they had other sort of decorations that you could put in the city that didn't really fit graphically with the rest of the city. They changed those and tweaked them a bit, so now they fit better. It's game is pretty cool. Doing well. Starting to lose neighbors. So that sucks. But
that's funny because I actually got Icebreaker. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, now you see, now that there's sort of a viable way to get diamonds, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe that's what happened. I mean, initially they thought, we're just going to push, try to get as many people to play as we can. So we're going to limit the number of diamonds, which is sort of, that's the trade-off. If you don't have friends, you use money. So they weren't giving you much money, so it was oh, you got to get as many friends as possible. And maybe they've sort of seen, whatever their data is, they've seen sort of a cap. People aren't really getting friends at the rate they need. The way we have the game balanced right now, so
conversion is not high enough.
So yeah, more free diamonds is good. That's awesome. Have I played anything else? Well, I guess recently I finally finished Blood Rain Betrayal.
Nice.
That game it reminds me a lot of Contra, actually, or Mega Man without any of the cheat codes. Because there are areas where you really have to remember, you have to
cheat code.
Memorize exactly certain patterns. Some of the platforming, I remember in the reviews it said the platforming was problematic in later chapters because it's they had some complaint about the controls. The controls are too finicky to perform the platforming that they want you to do. And well, I didn't feel that at all. When I played it, it just felt wow, I understand what they want me to do, and this is crazy. You need crazy precision to pull this off. And yeah, it came down to memorization. I gotta memorize exactly not what I see on the screen, but what I'm supposed to do with my fingers. So as an example, Rain has a what would it be? I guess it's like a down attack, so she can actually jump on top of people's heads. And just like in lots of games that have that attack, when you bounce off an enemy, it actually bounces you, so you can stay in the air. And in one section, there is no floor, so you're supposed to bounce on these little bug things. And once you bounce on it, it's dead, so it's gone, so you can't stay in that place. So you bounce on one, then you got to jump over like these saw blades that are moving up and down. So you got to time your jumps right so that you don't run out of guys to step on, so you can stay in the air. And then you got to dash through these saw blades that are moving up and down the screen. And like that part took me, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes just to get through. And then I think there's like a battle right at the end of it where there continues to be no floor. And you got to fight two guys that are flying around while jumping on these bugs. I was like, this is impossible. And yeah, I just like racked my brain. I think I could only figure out one way to do it, and it took a lot of precision to get that one thing down. It's like, okay, now I got it, and I was finally able to get through. And yeah, it felt a lot like those old school games, like the well-designed old school games, where it's just not killing you cheaply. It's just, you see it, say, oh, I see exactly what I have to do. It's just going to be really, really hard. So that game, pretty good. My biggest complaint, I think, is the grading system. I don't think they should grade you the first time you play it, because it's very discouraging. So the grading system, from what I've seen, essentially, yeah, the lowest grade that you can get is an F. So picture, you just went through this crazy platforming segment. It's like, oh, finally got through. You get to the end, and then it calculates your score, and it's just any score between 0 and something like 24,999 is an F. So you got through that. Oh, you're feeling really accomplished. Grading score comes up, F. Every single chapter, F, F, F. It's just like, wow. I was feeling accomplished, and then you show me that. I was like, no, it's very discouraging. Like, the first time through, I don't think it should show any of that to you. It should show it the second time. Or, at the end it's like, yay, congratulations, you beat the game. Now you can go back for greater challenges, or the score challenge, or the score attack.
So, like, if they see that, they'll be like, well, I'm going to come do this again and, like, get such a high score that it'll be, like, S rank. Show you F on the screen.
Yeah, that didn't happen. In the end, I couldn't, even now, I can't figure out how I'm supposed to get higher than C, which is only the second rank. I don't know what comes after C.
It's kind of like how I felt the first time I played Ikaruga and got, like, through the first stage, and it was like, C++. I was like, what?
See, but that's better, though. Like, when you get a C, it's like, oh, that was just average. Average, or... Because, I don't think it's the same grading scale in Blood Rain, but they chose those letters. Like, I don't it says F, and then there's a little dash, and it says Worm Chow. It's like, well, why didn't you just use Worm Chow? Why'd you have to use F? In my mind, I think in everyone's mind, that implies failure. It's like, but I got through. That is not failure.
Yeah, that's passing. That's a D-.
Oh, gamer. Terrible. So, yeah, I think that's the reason I quit initially. The first time I played, I beat the first level. I was like, oh, man, the combat is sort of difficult to get used to. And I got to the end, I was like, okay, that's cool. F. I was like, Played chapter 2. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm starting to get better. Oh, yeah, I got through that. That was kind of hard. F. Okay, I'm going to go back to chapter 1. Maybe, I missed, like, how to play this game. So I tried to play it differently as I read how to play and all that. It's like, okay, now I know how to play. Started playing, like, F. How do I get higher than F? I quit. That was the launch, which was the last time they did the PSN Play promotion, so a year ago. Did not pick it up again until 2 weeks ago. Yeah, bad design decision. Did I play anything else? Oh, I got a Nexus 7, the new Android tablet.
Nice.
But I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh,
just like everyone else. I'm actually supposed to get it tomorrow. But yeah, it's supposed to be the tablet, the Android tablet made for gaming. So we'll see what's out there. I've been trying. Recently, actually, a local company, they released a game called Parallel Zombies, which I think the main draw is supposed to be it knows where you are in the real world, and it uses those maps to do something. I don't know. So far, the gameplay itself, I don't know if it's that engaging to me. It's just sort of, it's like a twin stick shooter, except you have no sticks because it's a touchscreen. Oh, and the twin stick part, like the second stick, you don't even aim it. You just sort of hold it down, and your guy auto aims. Kinda weird. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what I've been playing. Gamer.
Yeah, just been playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer because it's like really addictive. Seriously, I don't know. I just love getting the points and then spending it and just being disappointed, but then you do it all over again. It's like, nonstop. It's free. I played some more Blacklight. Man, the game's good. I don't know. I don't care what the guy said, like nonsense, but yeah. It's like it has. It's Call of Duty, but the level up system or like the weapons, the buying weapons part is sort of like Black Ops, where you get to spend the points you get from winning matches and shit. So that's great. I like it. And just Arma 2. Well, I mean DayZ. That's intense. The game, that mod, it's a bit buggy here and there, like zombie-wise, but the game is great. I finally got my first gun, which is a shotgun. I used it, and it was aggroing every zombie around me. So like
shotgun gamer.
Yeah, but I was like, I finally got a weapon.
That probably wasn't helping either.
I shot it, and like everything came towards me, so I wasted all the bullets. I was like, shit. So I just had to drop the weapon. And I finally got, because the first time I played, the first match I played, I got an axe or a crowbar. Did I talk about it last week where I was following some people because I want to see where they went?
No.
Then like there's this dude on the hill.
Seriously.
I hear some gunshots. I'm like, okay, oh shit. I hear the cracks. I'm like, are they shooting at me? Then I get a headshot. It's like, oh, there he is. So he was shooting at me. Because I was just tailing his partner who was going up a ladder. It's like, don't shoot me. I had a crowbar. Like, I had nothing on me. But then I now currently have an axe that one-shot zombie, so that's cool.
Nice.
And I was so scared this one time. It was like my second game. I was like just trying to scavenge for anything because like it was really difficult now since you don't spawn with a weapon. I was like scavenging the city, and there's just one dude calling me in the distance. Like it's pretty cool. Like it has like what do you call it? Relational volume where the closer they get, the louder they get, and the farther they're away, they get quieter. I forgot what that's called. But I hear this dude like in the distance. Are you friendly? He gets closer and closer. Are you friendly? And, like, I turn around, and, like, I see this freaking rifle on my face. Like, oh shit! Oh my god! And he's like, I was like fumbling with the buttons. Like, how do you talk to people? It's like I'm like looking at I'm going on the menu screen, like looking at options, like looking at the key maps, and like I finally find the thing where it's like you have to switch. There's modes like chat modes where there's direct communication. I switched it to that and like, yes, I'm friendly. And it's like, okay, cool. Can you help me? I was like, oh my god, he was about to shoot me right on the spot. And I have like all I had was like a crowbar. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like typing in the chat, friendly, I'm friendly. Like he's not hearing me. He's like, do you have a mic? And I'm typing no, but he's not looking at the message or something. But it was because it was on the wrong channel. So I finally got to the right channel. It's like, yes, I'm friendly. And they're like, oh, I just need a blood transfusion. Because if you lose blood in the game, the only way you can get blood is from another person giving it to you.
You know, they have the same
I was like, okay.
type.
Nah, you get AIDS, whatever. But then...
not how that works at all.
Yeah, I know. But I finally gave the blood to the guy. He's like, oh, thank you. I needed that. Like, I just went my merry way. It's like, wow, that was great.
Cool.
I don't even think he realizes it at all, which is even better.
No, because like I think I found them when I was like scrounging someplace. It was like a fire department or something. It was like the way it's shaped, it looked like a fire department. There was 2 tents. I was like looking at the tents, and then like, all of a sudden my game started to lag. So like for some reason my view, to him it seemed like I was hitting the wall repeatedly, like I was banging my head or something. But then I was like, then he's like, what are you doing? It's like, scavenging. Okay, shit. Game is so creepy. That's why it's probably not, I don't know if this is a good tip or not, but it's better if you locate a server with not a lot of people in it, so your chances of getting killed are low. So you could, because like, how the game works, there's a master server that has your character and your equipment and everything. If you go to a server that's like no people, then you get your guns. You can get the guns there, and then disconnect and go to another server with a lot of people, and then go from there. You could have your weapons uploaded to that server, and you could start from there. So that's cool. I like it. But it's so stressful, seriously. Like running around, like it's kind of weird where you'll be crouch walking, and then there's a zombie right in front of you, and you're slowly like strafing him. Then all of a sudden, because for some reason, if you're prone, they won't see you. But if you're crouched, even if you're crouching and you're slowly walking, they'll still like, the zombie just snapped, and he's running towards you. It's like, oh, shit. This line of sight thing is just annoying. Just trying to get weapons there. But yeah, it's really good. And you two guys, did you guys install it?
I installed it. I haven't played it yet, though.
Yeah, I haven't installed it yet.
Man, it's intense stuff. I don't know if we should hook up because it gets really difficult to find that shit without a map. And you don't start with a map. That's annoying.
So, should I play through the tutorial of Arma, or is the controls completely different in that game versus the mod?
Apparently the controls are really complicated or something. That's what I heard.
They're not as your typical third person shooter on the PC. It's like there's everything on the keyboard almost has a purpose. So it's like you really have to go through the tutorial first, and then go to the mod. Then you'll have a grand time figuring out. Because in my first game, I was figuring out what to do. It's because I didn't look. I just went blind. I was like, whatever. I'm a smart kid, whatever. And I was fumbling because I got bit and I was bleeding, and so I saw my blood meter going down. I'm like, oh shit, I have a bandage. How do I apply the bandage? I was clicking, click. I was like, what? Left click, right click. Finally, I figured it out. I was like, I'm about to die. Right click on the bandage, and you could apply a bandage to yourself. I'm like, oh, finally. Yes. But then, my screen's all black and white, and I'm shaking. I'm like, oh shit. So I just ran towards some zombie that's like, just kill me. Maybe restart. So that was fun. But yeah,
Crazy.
that's pretty much it, other than SimCity Social.
Isn't that amazing?
You know, if it wasn't for this game, I'd be like going to my backlog like crazy, like left and right, like banging out, finishing games left and right. This game is just, you know, pulling me back in. It's like, oh, just look at me for an hour. Then there goes my hour to playing something else. I'm like, shit.
And then, like, after a quest, I'll go and check it, and then lose all my energy, and, like, get all my Olympic coins, and then go back to Mass Effect, do another quest, and come back.
That's what I've been doing for these Olympic medals. That like I play a multiplayer match and then come back, and then click, then play again, more Mass Effect 3. Works. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say about Mass Effect 2. That when I played through Renegade, like that was my first time finally playing through both Arrival and Overlord to like see the ending in Renegade. So I finally got to see that for like the first time after playing it for like so long. And since I always play Paragon, I finally got to see the Renegade. So yes, it's pretty funny too because like Shepard still bitch slaps Archer in Overlord, but like it's not a Paragon prompt. It was hilarious. I was like, oh, that was so cool. So yeah, I guess we'll be back. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, even though Tiger Fox isn't here, is like, I'm gonna say like Soldier is not as throwaway as I was like saying, because like there's some times when I was playing, I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty helpful when I had adrenaline rush and I could just like slow down time and just like shoot stuff really fast and like we are
I'm a soldier.
And then like yeah, we were just decimated. I was like, okay, it's not a throwaway class, so. Still a useful class, so yeah. Not all the way terrible, so yeah. But yeah, that's it. We'll come back with this, or come back after this with a question of the week. Gamers, are they ever satisfied and stuff after this? Second segment. Are gamers ever satisfied? It seems these days games come out and gamers are like, I want this game to be perfect. If it's not, well, this game isn't perfect enough and it's terrible, or some other complaint or negative comment about it. It is awesome. They're like, well, that was fun, everything, but I'm not satisfied enough. More. I crave more. Blah, 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 blah. What has that led us to? And what something, I don't know, I'm trying really hard to make a good intro. Yeah. Topic this week. And consequences, there was something I wanted to say, but I forgot. So
Yeah.
Effects. Yeah, there we go.
This arises from, there was a Kotaku article a few weeks ago where they interviewed Reggie, and Reggie was talking about, like, the core gamer is impossible to satisfy. They always, you give them what they ask for, and then they say, oh, okay, what else? So his example was, everyone's been, where's Pikmin? And then he said, okay, at E3 he's like, here's Pikmin 3. Yay! And said, okay, what else you got? And then, he also had the Mario example. Oh, your new console has to launch with Mario. I was like, oh, well, here's Mario. And like, okay, what else? And Nintendo Land was apparently the result of everyone saying, oh, you have all these great properties. What can you do to bring them all together? It's like, oh, Nintendo Land. And everyone says, whatever. Meh.
Oh.
So, yeah, our gamers never satisfy. Although, I think to be fair for the article, Reggie, he oftentimes interprets questions the way he wants to. So he looks at things in a way that people don't, regularly you wouldn't understand it in that way. And when people say, where's Pikmin, they don't just want another Pikmin. They want another Pikmin, and then it's like an improvement upon Pikmin. Like, you can't just say, oh, where's Pikmin? Say, oh, well, here's Pikmin 2 now on the Wii for $20. See? More Pikmin. It doesn't work that way. So from what they showed at E3, it's like, it just looked like more Pikmin. And brighter, shinier Pikmin, but it was more Pikmin. And Mario is like, well, it's more Mario.
That's kind of like an extension of like every like franchise though. It's like you want more of game XYZ, here's another one, and you see the sequel, it's kind of more of the same. So
yeah, well, I mean, I think people they like those properties. So, you know, like Call of Duty, I don't know that even the people who hate it, we don't necessarily want it to be entirely different in the next one, but we would like to see something that we can look at and say, see, this is a lot of it's the same, and you know, since it was good, it's still good, but this part here is significantly different, that it feels like effort. You know, people who believed in this put effort into making this, and they made it different, and they exercised creative judgment or whatnot, and they decided to do this different thing, and then this is how it is, and oh, it's different and it's good, and you know, that's what people want, I think. So I guess even before we start answering the question, the counter question is, should gamers ever be satisfied?
Okay, to me, like, to answer that question, like, okay, there's a part in here when he says, he's like, okay, what are the things that on the one hand I love, and on the other hand that troubles me tremendously about not only our fan base but about the gaming community at large, is that whenever you share information, the perspective is, thank you, I want more, thank you, but give me more. I mean, it is insatiable. Like, to me, that is me, because, like, satisfied, I always want more at the same time. It's like, it's not like, okay, this is good enough, I'm finished here. Like, it's like, no, there's, like, Mass Effect 3, basically, like, this is, like, I'm like building and building and building up to the like release of the game. The game comes out. I'm like, okay, this game's awesome. I play it. I finish the game. I'm like, okay, DLC, where is it? Because I've already finished the game. I want more. And it's like, it's just a never-ending cycle of game is like about to come out, and I'm like getting hyped for it. Game comes, I play through it. I finish the game, and I want more experiences with that game. So it's like, to some extent, I am insatiable, but I am satisfied.
But well, okay, like, consider the alternative, though. Like, let's say you just played Mass Effect, and then you're like, oh, you know, I'm done. I'm so satisfied that I never need to play another Mass Effect. I never need to play Mass Effect again.
I felt that with Mugshot 4, because I'm not looking forward to 5 at all. I'm just like, really? Like,
so, like, who does that benefit? You don't get any more. I mean, I guess you're done. So it's just like, oh, you've already been benefited, so bye. But then, you know, the game maker is like, well, now we don't need to do anything. They're satisfied. We have reached the pinnacle of game design and just made the game that anyone who plays is like, yes, this was the game. I can retire from gaming knowing that I played the game, and that's it. It's like, so the business disappears because they don't need to make games anymore, and you disappear. You don't need to play games anymore. Like, who does that benefit?
Okay, well, I guess gamers should never be satisfied then, because... Well, I'm trying to think that through, but my initial response is that gamers should never be satisfied.
I mean, I think part of it, and maybe I'm looking at it now in a way that is not in the true spirit of the question, but it's just, it seems to me that it's, I don't know if individuals really experience this. I think it's sort of an aggregate reaction that Nintendo receives on their end, where they look at, it's sort of like this cycle of only the games that haven't come out matter. So, you know, it's just always hype. It's like hype, game comes out, and then there's a review, which, you know, the reviews don't really match the sort of impact of all the hype. The hype is just way ingrained into people, and then the reviews, like, they don't really matter. They either affirm what you already believed through the hype, or they always affirm what you believe, essentially. And then the media just moves on to the next game, and it's just like, it's an endless cycle of hype. But then for the individuals, I imagine people actually buy those games that come out and then play them. So there must be a part of time when they're just, they're not in hype. They're actually experience the game. During those moments, like, did you start Mass Effect 3 and then just immediately say, oh, I want more?
Well, my initial reaction to Mass Effect 3 was negative since I couldn't import my Shepard, and I was like, what the F, BioWare, fix this.
Or just any game. Like, do you ever start a game and think, man, I can't wait for the sequel?
That never happens.
Yeah.
Were you saying that would fit with, like, people should never be satisfied, or the other way?
Well, it's just, actually, I'm not really sure where that came from. It's sort of a perspective on what it means when they say gamers are never satisfied and what Reggie's talking about. And, like, I don't know. I think they are satisfied at certain points, but then they're always ready for more after that, which as I was saying, I think that's a good thing. I think that's where you benefit.
RPG gamer.
Trying to think of how to respond to this, because I don't know.
I want to be satisfied every single time. Because I will continue to buy your games if you satisfy me with a great story, great gameplay.
That probably is like, well, it's kind of like you said, like about the whole, like reviews will either, but like when you're playing through a game and you're enjoying it. Sorry, I was going to say something about like being satisfied and playing a game after it comes out. But I was going to say.
But this is coming from a guy who never finds major faults with any game.
That's not true. I see the major faults.
No,
but I also see the not major faults.
Even the B tier games, there's still something to enjoy in those games. I don't completely trash games unless they're completely, totally bad, which has been very rare. But, I mean, the only thing is, like, I could tell, it's like Nintendo just don't listen to your fans. Don't even listen. Just make whatever you want to make, and they will eat it up. It's like, what's this? Instead of giving them, I think it's rather gamers are saying, surprise me. Like, give me something I haven't seen before, or give me something I wasn't expecting. And they will be like, oh, wow, that's great. Because, like, they asked for Pikmin, you gave them Pikmin, that was a problem. It's like, you listened to them. That's what happened with, like, BioWare and this stupid Mass Effect ending thing. People were like, they said the ending I wanted. I wanted the indoctrination theory, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, we'll give you something. And then they gave them something. And they're still not satisfied, those people. Oh, it was an indoctrination theory. Yeah. Whatever. You just don't give them what they want. That's my thing.
But then they might abandon you if you like keep on, I guess, not satisfying them in that case. It's like eventually your fans are gonna kind of move on and be like, you know what, you haven't been doing anything that's really been all that stellar, so why am I gonna keep on supporting you when I could just go to some other developer or buy some other stuff that'll have, or at least somewhat hold me over, I guess, until I can find something better. So
I guess yeah, I think Gamer's right in that most people are just looking for companies to surprise them. That's new experiences, I think, is what gaming is mostly about, and that's what people are looking for. So, in a way, I guess when people were asking for Pikmin, they were basically saying, yeah, we've got Mario, we've got Zelda, we've got, all of your stuff already. Give us something new. And then when you think about Nintendo, it's like, well, what's something new? And since we aren't Nintendo, we can't really come up with anything. So we're just like, oh, Pikmin. There hasn't been a Pikmin in a long time. Give us new Pikmin.
And, look what happened. Look what happened with people were kept on saying, oh, where's Kid Icarus? Where's Kid Icarus? And they finally, released a Kid Icarus, and then, well, nothing. It didn't go like number one on the sales charts or anything, and people were salivating for it. It's like that's the problem. It's like maybe
it's a really vocal minority though. Maybe it didn't have like the biggest fan base to begin with, and they just were really vocal.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing it could be is you remember Snakes on a Plane? Everyone thought that it would do really well because the internet really liked it or something. And then
no one watched it.
Yeah, the movie bombed.
Hey,
well,
I watched it. I gave my.
You're gonna see something called Snakes on a Plane, like.
No, because everyone thought this is gonna be a really fun, campy film, and then like everyone just saw the scene they just wanted to see was the Samuel Jackson just be like, there's these snakes on this motherfucking plane. Like that's the only scene they wanted, and they got it in the trailer.
So they blew their whole load on that by showing everybody the stuff before it even came out.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I have like a thought. It's like coming out to me. Okay. I have a question for you, RPG. Like, as a Final Fantasy fan, like each iteration in like
this is coming.
Different. Like. You always expect there to be like to be amazed and blown away and surprised, or like is it fine with you if it's just like a small iteration from like the previous version of the last game?
Well, I mean, I guess given how it's grown over the series itself, I've come to expect like big changes, I guess, over each after each installment. But I don't know, since. I don't really know how to. I don't know, Tekken. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but you give him a good point because like Square Enix is like doing what we want, like what we want. Is like give them like a surprise, and the surprise is like Final Fantasy 13-3. But it's like that's not the kind of stuff.
I don't remember asking for that
want.
game. I'm not sure that's.
Do you want 13-3?
Oh, I didn't even want 13-2, and it happened, didn't it? So, I mean, I didn't really. No,
I think there's like a certain balance companies can achieve, like, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't just throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks. But sometimes you gotta do that. It depends.
Because at the same time, you don't want it. Like everything you make to just be like more of the same, because then you still have either you do too much crazy stuff and then you're gonna alienate your fans, and if you do too little, then you're gonna alienate new people, I guess, or whatever. So it's always like.
I don't think alienating new people is a problem. I think I agree with the gamer that said the whole like just give them. I'm sorry.
Don't listen to the fans.
Yeah, don't listen to them because they're like the vocal minority. Well, they're not. See, it's a weird thing. It's like you'd be like, oh, without the fans we're nothing, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's like they're. I just feel like they're the vocal minority because it's like Mass Effect ending, that thing blew up to where it's like, really, that was nah. I'd have much rather had them like working on DLC for the single player than like going back
about that.
Yeah.
to the game to have to like wait longer for the DLC. So.
Or they could have at least addressed the issue in the DLCs they were making, like they shouldn't have. didn't have to release this extended cut. They could have been like be a prequel to the entire trilogy, the DLC. It's like, oh my god, would have solved all your problems. Like, who's that ghost? They could have solved it. Hey, I didn't spoil it. It was like I was so vague, so.
What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, so they could have addressed it some other way rather than here's an easy fix for you, like the vocal minority. Like, I don't know.
Because it's like a typical. I think I'm forgetting like just forgetting who said what, but like I think if like people are easily satisfied. Like or like this in an interview. Like it's just to me, I feel like the people they're all like, oh, this game isn't innovative enough, or oh, this game is not the negative Nancy's of the world. They're in the minority, but they just like scream the loudest about the like they're not happiest about. So it's like, or it should just be ignored, and like you should just try to do whatever you're trying to do, not be all like, oh well, let's take this.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, either way, just give me some games. Because in the end, that's all I want to play.
See, we should never be satisfied.
No, I'm always satisfied, man. It's like once I reset the ending, it's like, yes, that was worth how much money I paid for it, no matter how small or how big.
Article's question about like should I ever be satisfied? It's like, well, yeah, but see, I think that's the thing is like he put that caveat of like, but if you're satisfied, you'll stop and be done forever.
Well,
I don't think that's true. If you're satisfied, then maybe you'll look forward to whatever else they put out. So it's not like you're just going to give up on something altogether just because one thing.
Well, that's not what satisfied means, though. I mean, I guess it's a matter of scale. Yes, gamers should be satisfied with some things. I mean, satisfaction is good, but then on the other hand, you should also never be satisfied, so that you're always looking for better stuff, and that pushes the creative people to make better stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In that sense, that makes sense. Because I mean, look what happened to. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Hello.
I think RPG give him a minute or something.
Okay.
Gamer, what were you saying?
Wait, is RPG gonna talk?
Are you there, RPG?
Oh, I'll just go ahead. I was saying like Uncharted 2, that satisfied me immensely, and people were saying, "Oh, I want more Uncharted 2," and that's what Uncharted 3 is, more Uncharted 2. But then they were so dissatisfied with Uncharted 3 that it sort of soured their, satisfaction overall. The three games. Like, but for me, I thought Uncharted 3 was great, but to a lot of people, it wasn't. And then, but that's what you wanted. See, that's why I say like, don't listen to your, people. Only listen if there's like a crash, like a really bad bug or something that you could fix. But then, other than that, just cut off your game, cut off your whatever your vision is, and then say, oh, this is our vision. This is what we made. I don't know if you're gonna enjoy it or not. Just here it is. That's what I want. I don't know. That's what I wanted from Mass Effect 3. Is like, just that was your vision. Just don't tinker with it anymore. With a new bit. It's like, okay. Because I mean that sort of kills your integrity, your artistic integrity. Like they didn't they didn't enjoy your vision, but I don't know, that's what art is. Like, love it or hate it, that's the final draw. I don't know, final straw, drop, whatever. I think RPG's baking a cake. A really scrumptious cake with some chocolate ganache, frosting on top, with some light white chocolate sprinkles on top. But yeah. Ah. Oh, Tropical just dropped.
Okay, pause it then. I'll come back.
Yeah. He's being... Oh.
Okay, we're back. Some technical difficulties, but we're back.
Extreme weather. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, as far as like the question goes about like, are gamers satisfied? I would think that the majority of them are. It's just like a vocal minority that isn't. I'd also say that like, it works both ways. To where it's like the people that are satisfied would also want more of that experience, and like, to a certain extent, there are there's like a core group that is never, that's insatiable and will just like keep consuming whatever you pump out, because I
Although the whole vocal minority thing might not necessarily be a bad thing per se, because I mean, while the whole Mass Effect ending thing was probably blown out of proportion, but when you think about it, though, those kind of people, when a company like gets, I guess, faced with that kind of stuff, when they go into making their next game, they kind of thinking, well, we saw what some people thought was bad this time. What can we do differently, or what can we add or change about in this next game that could possibly, eliminate that kind of problem? So, I mean, while it is kind of bad that for them to like go back and I guess change, like Gamer was saying, like the whole artistic whatchamacallit thingy, that thing, but in a way it can kind of be beneficial as long as they're not like, I guess, compromising their own vision in order to make these changes and do things to, I guess, semi-satisfied gamers, since apparently we don't want them to be completely satisfied. So it's like,
I'd agree with that. Like, I mean, I'd say that like for the most part, it's just like there are some people that like they have nothing good to say about anything. So it's like,
yeah, because I mean, of course, if there's just like those people out there who are just trying to find problems just for the sake of finding problems, then there's always going to be that group out there. But for the most part, as long as there's like, I guess, legitimate issues or whatever,
it seems like
can be beneficial.
If you go like a gaming site and like look at the comments, it's always like the same people that are like, they don't have anything good to say. Even if they do have something good to say, it's like they still have something bad to say about it. They're like, oh yeah, this game's okay, but there's this, and this that are terrible about this game. It's okay. But like, you can still like never. So that's can't stand them.
Just F them.
Oh, by the way, there's like thunder.
Yes.
So sorry about you.
Tropical's kind of like weathering a storm for us right now.
It's weird, because I'm indoors.
Wow, that's even worse. Some serious stuff are going on then. So, yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, I think that was kind of the thing, like, when you were asking me about the Final Fantasy thing, because a lot of people's complaints about 13, they tried to fix with 13.2, which, I mean, in my opinion, they actually made things more... They made things worse than they did fix things. So I think it kind of I guess it all depends, because you don't want to just compromise your vision to satisfy people by adding a bunch of stuff and then losing a bunch of other stuff in the process that actually made something good in the first place. And then it's like, well, then what was the point? But if you just, it's going to just be a never-ending cycle. So.
Isn't it about, like, the part of, like, people not being, or insatiable? Like, I think, like, if you're going to, like, try to, like, tap into that, you should, like, have a good system of, like, letting them know when awesome stuff is going to come out for, like, a game. Cause, like, Deus Ex, like, I was, like, so hoping there'd be more deals for that game, but there obviously isn't. There's, like, been one, and, like, that's pretty much it, so sad face, but that would have been so good. So nice and awesome, or something. Or if like, you could, like, try to, like, network with your fans and be like, so, guys, if you'd be interested, blah, 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 to, like, gauge how many people are interested, if you have, like, no way to, like, within the game, to be like, hey, guys, there's a stuff we're thinking of doing for the game, what do you think of this, blah, 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 and they can tell you.
User feedback. I mean, it wouldn't be impossible for them to do that, because, I mean, with all your players connected to, like, internet sources now, it'd be easy to just do polls online or whatever through our accounts or whatever's going on there, so it wouldn't be difficult. So, they could. But then again, like you said, there's always that one person out there who's gonna ruin it for everybody, so...
I guess the second part of this question was, do you think, like, that's maybe why Nintendo went more casual, was the whole, oh, we can easily please these people, well, just, it does this, and it's easy to get and understand, and they will be easily satisfied and, easily satiable or something.
Well, I wouldn't say Nintendo themselves necessarily went that route. While they did have some games, I guess, that appealed to the casual crowd, a lot of third-party developers kind of jumped on the whole casual thing with Just Dance and Carnival games and et cetera, based on the fact that a lot of people were just like, I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people were just like buying Wiis for Wii Sports and stuff, and that casual crowd there was that tap market for games like Just Dance, where they kind of just want to, you know, just it's more of like the Wii's more of like a novelty object for them. It wasn't necessarily something that they were using as like a gaming console like we would be using it for. So I think it was a bit different in that situation. But I guess in that regard, it's easier to if there are people who are easier to please, you don't have to, I guess, spend as much time thinking about like quality or stuff that you're putting into something if people just want like this one gimmick thing to kind of, you know, satisfy them. So then you're kind of, I guess it's easier for developers or companies in that regard, but
I don't think Nintendo was expecting the casual market to be so big. I mean, like, the launch games was like, what, the Red Steel? Like, that wasn't for casual people.
Yeah, I was just that was actually one of the,
what were the other
four
games?
titles when they did it. Didn't Twilight Princess come out around the same time as?
Oh yeah, pretty much. I think like within a couple months. It was in the launch window.
Yeah. Say what?
I think that was launch window.
This was day one because I remember buying it.
Oh, was it day one?
Yeah, I know it was just close with. It was within the launch window, like you were saying. So either way, it was like around the time the week.
It's weird because like it was supposed to, you know, it's supposed to be a core system, but then they made so much freaking money.
Hijacked.
By the casual people. It's like, nice.
He was hijacked by casual gamer.
Well,
yeah, because they thought it was supposed to be a core system, for the people who bought like Zelda and all that, all the old.
But like I said, it wasn't. I don't think Nintendo really necessarily.
That it was a happy accident of like just being.
Yeah, I don't think they actually allowed that to happen. It
wasn't really like built from the start, so. Because I still like remember the tech demo videos of like the cooking game and like the shooting game and the ghost game that like never happened. I was waiting for those games. And I was like.
They did make a cooking game called Order Up.
I mean, like actual
Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama.
Like the Cooking Mama game, like
they're gonna make one for the Wii U. We've already gone over
actually,
this.
When you look at that, it does seem like the Wii. Well,
Yeah, well, I guess in the beginning, they assumed that it was going to be core people buying it in the beginning. But, just looking at what they talked about, though, and I don't know if they did it because these people would be easier to satisfy. I think they were just thinking, these people have not been catered to at all. Let's try doing something for them. And then, then they found out, oh, wow, they're really easy.
Yeah.
We can just put out anything. We'll put out a scale with some measuring equipment. Buy it in millions.
It's sad but true, because WeFit dominated the MPTs for years. So,
and it's now they for some reason they want the core back. And they're going the wrong way for me.
Well, it might have been because they've heard people talking about how maybe they probably just heard people talking about how the Wii's just a casual gamer system or whatever, and I guess they took that as a more negative thing. So that there's well, we don't want people to think that we're just putting out mini games and stuff like this. We want gamers to know that we can still cater to them as well. So I think it's more of a maybe they're just trying to find a balance between the two, where there's we could still satisfy our core gamers, but at the same time we can still drain those casual gamers dry because they'll just buy anything. So we could use that to fund our core systems for the core gamers who we like, because casual gamers suck.
Probably also has to do with the fact that the industry is really different now than it was. And if you're the casual system, then what you're saying is you're competing with, Facebook games, which are free.
Or iPhones,
like
stuff like
mobile games, which many are free. And Nintendo, they've kind of been locked in a war with those kind of games. When the 3DS came out, everyone was asking, well, how come, Steel Diver is a $40 game? How is it better than Angry Birds, which is free to $1? and they've just been constantly saying, it's different. You play different types of games on your consoles, but then when you look at what they've been doing, it's well, not really. I mean, you've been making games that are sort of those throwaway time waster games that casual people play. They use games to kill time.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
more so
I think,
with the handheld. So
so they, for their core or for their new console, I think they do have to go for core, because the core people do buy more stuff, and this is the launch part. So those are the people who are going to buy it. But then, after that, who knows?
Yeah, I was part of the problem with the 3DS. I bought it day one with 3 games. Because I'm sort of hypocritical, because when it comes to certain games, I want it. Professor Layton, Nintendo, if you don't bring it here, I'm gonna freaking flip. And then they finally said, oh, we're gonna release it here. It's oh yes.
Well, with games like Professor Layton, though, I think it might be a matter of the size of their audience versus the cost of them.
Yeah, because
being able to do it.
Professor Layton's not really a seller. So maybe that's why they always hesitate their announcements when they announce a Professor Layton game, but finally, it's coming out. Yeah, I'm happy.
Because even in Japan, I think some of level 5 games haven't been selling gigantic numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, Professor Layton probably does decently, but I think it's more of a matter of they see how it's taken over there, and they're well, even the Western audience is even more, I guess, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's so you have to, I think in that regard, they have to be a bit more cautious with the kind of stuff they want to bring over and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I like the, be cautious, but, within a caution, put some risk.
I mean, it's easy for you to say because you're not running a multi-million-dollar business, but
it's easy for me because I'm buying it. I am buying your games. I'm spending the $40 for your game. I don't care about these $1 free games. Even though I do play them at lunch, but yeah.
I was gonna say, like, looking from what Gamer said about the Wii and how it was hijacked, you could say, like, it's possible it was never in their intention to, like, have it go the way they did, and maybe they're just, that's the continuation of, like, the Wii U and, like, why you see so much effort into, like, core titles coming into it, even though from our perspective it, like, doesn't make any sense. Like, that wasn't what the Wii was about, even though, looking back on it, maybe it was, it just didn't go down like that. And then, like you brought up, like, the whole, like, the App Store with, like, the iTunes, or the iPhone and, like, that stuff, like, I think that also, like, shows that, like, both, like, casual gamers as well are, like, never satisfied, and they're also insatiable, because, like, without, like, you can just look at, like, how many games are on that, and, like, just people keep buying it, and it keeps coming out, so obviously, like, the ecosystem where games can go and prosper is, like, ginormous if you look at the marketplace, so even...
I think if they opened up their online store to, like, let's say Android, because Apple will never do it, let's say Androids, you know, having those apps on the Wii U would probably help. I mean, they would be competing with the Ouya if that ever gets released.
Nintendo just has, I think they just have, like, a tough fight ahead of them altogether, because it's like, after the whole Wii quote-unquote debacle that was going on with the... I just think this is probably going to, like, a lot of gamers are probably a lot more skeptical about the Wii U's release now, because, I mean, even if you were looking at us before, it's like, even if we were, like, excited about the Wii U when it was first announced, and then after E3, how we all were kind of just like, it's the Wii U, let's move on to the next stuff, and I think it's going to be, like, an uphill battle for them, because it's going to be harder to sell the console this time, now that everybody's kind of, I guess, jaded based on what happened in the past. So it's like, oh, well, they made all these promises before, and not a lot of them were given to me. So how do I know it's going to be different this time around? So
the only exception of, like, a time when I would be, like, satisfied in, like, a long term to, like, not worry about new game trip purchases for a long time is, like, if new hardware came out and I was just not as ambivalent or just apathetic about it, and I was like, well, I'm satisfied with what I have, so I'm not going to buy the next version of hardware and just stay with the current gen and not go next gen. Which is why I'm hoping PS4 and 720 are way farther ahead than people keep...
Either that or they suck.
Like, ugh.
So that way I don't have to buy them. It's like...
They suck to be even worse, 'cause it's like, oh, they're terrible, so...
Yes.
Survive this next gen, because I'm not going to be part of it.
Don't worry. At least you would have just saved like $700, so... There you go.
Anybody have anything else to add to the whole gamers, and are they satisfied?
Not that I can think of.
All right, guy in the corner. Thanks for chiming in.
It's all about him.
Oh, he's still there. So yeah, what do you think about gamers, and if they're ever satisfied, or can they be satisfied? Are they insatiable? How do you feed the beast with continual game releases and such?
I'm pretty sure there's a mania for that. They have it for everything else, right?
Leave your feedback in the comments, and we'll read it next episode. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll come back after this with the news.
Doing that.
Back, final segment, news. No RPG, we weren't.
Darn. Because we just missed out on a perfectly good conversation. Story of my life.
So,
Tropical said he had some Ouya news for you peoples.
Oh, are we back?
Yes. What were you doing, Tropical?
I missed that part. Yeah, I'm a backer, so I'm very excited for it. And it was a really exciting 2 weeks for Ouya backers, or just the Ouya in general. So first of all, quick update. 14 days to go. They're up to 43,000 backers, of which 43,000 backers. That's right. 35,840 backers pledged at least 100. So there's at least going to be that many consoles out.
So basically,
At
I got
launch.
to one of the backers to make sure I get one.
No, it's only
Too late.
it's only a pre-order thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But man, I don't think they're gonna make it. No fucking way.
Well, it's hard to say. So, but yeah. Anyway, it's up to 5.5 million now at 14 days to go. It has slowed significantly since the first few days when it reached, I think it was like 2 million in the first day or something like that. It was crazy.
People can only give so much, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been a ton of news about how a lot of people say, even the people that are for it are sort of like, I don't know if they can do it, but yeah, I'm all for it if they can do it. So I guess the Ouya team is sort of hitting back and sort of trying to prove that they can do it. So there's been 5 updates so far to the Kickstarter page. One of them was to announce exclusive game on the console. So Robert Bowling, he was the creative strategist at Infinity Ward, who left to start his own studio, and they're making some sort of zombie apocalypse type game for next gen systems coming out in 2015, and he decided, he really believes in the Ouya. He pledged $10,000 of his own money, and he said, we're going to make an exclusive episodic game, which is a prequel to that first-person survival game in 2015, and it's going to be exclusively on Ouya.
Didn't somebody already do that?
Which one?
The episodic
Which part?
zombie thing.
Oh. Yeah, so it feels like, like how Prototype and Infamous just happened to come out at the same time.
Just happened, yeah.
Or that Split Second and Mod Nation
and Blur and every other
like,
racing game that came out that year.
Really weird. I think people come up with the same stuff at the same time. Yeah, I don't know if there's any shenanigans. I don't think so. I think it's just we are all fans of the same stuff, and we're kind of watching the same stuff, and then people come up with the same or similar ideas at the same time.
I blame
so their idea, the game is called Human Element, or like the game universe is called Human Element, and essentially it's sort of inspired. I guess I would say it's inspired by like The Walking Dead and similar type things. So they're talking about how, yes, there are zombies, but the zombies are not the focus. The focus is about, in these sort of crises, people do unreasonable things to survive. Yeah, so it's like that kind of, that's sort of the main point of the game. It's about the survival human element. Because zombies, when you think about them, they're actually kind of slow and dumb and easy to get around for the most part.
On which
it's the other survivors that turn out to be really scary.
Is The Last of Us doing something similar to that too?
Exactly. That's
wow. That's really. I was.
Yeah.
It's like as you read these things, I'm like, wait a minute.
Everyone is watching The Walking Dead now, and it's like, I would like to make a game like that. So Deadlight is coming out pretty soon, and it's sort of like that, and Last of Us. And yeah, he's talking about Human Element, and it sort of has a similar premise. Although the thing that he's talking about, though, which will make Human Element unique, is that take Call of Duty, for example. I mean, it's set in a World War II, or it was set in a World War II setting, but specifically, they wanted to make a first-person shooter. And really, it didn't really matter where you put it, just as long as the shooting mechanics were good. So, now we have Modern Warfare, and it's still Call of Duty. The difference with Human Element is that they want to make it. So the main thing that they're building is the universe, the world of Human Element, and then game mechanics are sort of they're also important, but they're sort of a secondary thing. So the advantage of that is basically when you have the world of Human Element, and that becomes something that people want to interact with, they can make game mechanics that suit every single type of device out there to the best of those devices' strengths.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what that really means? Fable has done things like, oh, you have this little phone game that interacts with your Human Element console game, or sorry, your Fable console game, and it was just like a little mini game, and
just watch it like, oh, we're just gonna bring some point into your game.
Yeah, who knows? But it's a pretty interesting idea, exciting, that Ouya has an exclusive game, which is, I think, is really cool. I mean, I think a lot of people are sort of stuck on the fact that Ouya is going to use a Tegra chip and it's going to be running Android. Like, most people look at that and they think, oh, so it's an Android device that you plug into a TV. And, you know, that brings up the questions like, well, why don't I just plug in my tablet, which has HDMI out, into my TV, and then I can do the exact same thing. And, you know, I could buy a controller that's Bluetooth, sync it up to my tablet, and I'm playing console games on my TV.
Well, Tropical, when you're, like, poking holes in it like that, it's really not helping matters. So,
I think that's the thing. I think they're trying to show that that is not what Ouya is. Yes, it's like how, you know, in the world, microwaves all run Java, but that doesn't mean, you know, that all Java boxes are, or like all microwaves are Java boxes. They're microwaves. So this is a console, and it just happens to run Android. Does that make sense?
Sure, why not?
All right then. Yeah, other updates. They talked about the console itself. A lot of people are sort of doubting that a mobile chip will be able to run these really amazing graphics that we expect from console games these days. But so they talked about, because, you know, we're not using it to run full Android, and, you know, Android has to be able to multitask and all these things. We'll actually... Or the other thing was battery life. Since it's a plug-in console, you know, you don't have to worry about battery life, so you can actually get more power out of the chip than you would on a mobile phone or a tablet. So that's really cool. And there were little tidbits like the Ouya is apparently being designed by the people who made the Jambox, which is this neat little Bluetooth speaker that you can hook up to tablets and mobile phones. They have a really cool design site. If you're interested in design, check out fuseprojects.com. And just the way that they approach industrial design is really interesting. So it will be really neat to hear, you know, what their thought process is on designing the I think the user interface is the most interesting to me right now. Because, you know, if it's just going to be uncurated chaos, anyone who wants to make a game can put a game on it. It's just going to become a dump for games.
Is that kind of similar to how phones work now or something?
Pretty much.
Interesting.
I think that's the thing that people need to crack now.
Well, I think going back to what Gamer said about like the zeitgeist, there are games that like rise to the top, and like people are talking about them and like want to play them. Because like for me, it's like I don't have an iPhone or iOS device, but like if I ever, well, I guess I'll never need to since Ouya. But like games that like if I've heard games talked about it where like I'd like to play a Super Mega Worm or a the game developer story game or whatever. So yeah.
I like the idea of anybody being able to make a game for it, though, because that causes competition. which forces people to do better things.
Not necessarily. I mean, what's happened on iOS is that people, initially, I think there was an article recently talking about the App Store and its beginnings, and they talked about how Super Monkey Ball in the beginning on the iPhone was a $10 game. And the mentality was, well, like flip phone games like Tetris or whatever, those cost like $3 or $4. And this is a full 3D game on a phone, so $10, yeah, that seems right. But what happened was, because there wasn't really a way to go and find out, okay, which ones are good. So people started exploiting, quote unquote, the top downloaded chart, and the way they did it is by lowering their price. So when you got down to 99 cents. People thought, oh, there's a lot less risk in buying this game for $1.
So it's just 99 cents, yeah.
A ton of people, got 99-cent games, and those were the ones that went up to the top of those lists. And then the sort of cascading effect is like, oh, those are on the top. Okay, I'm going to get those. And it started the race to 99 cents. And then now it's like, oh, everything is free. It's like, well, how do you compete with free?
Wait. If everything's free, how do you make money?
Everything is but
purchases.
Yeah, some have in-game purchases. Some are, the freemium, free-to-play model.
Sorry, shut up.
I'll say, weren't we just talking about this last week, Tech?
Oh, dare free-to-play.
Just
yeah,
remember this.
It's been this race down to the bottom. So it's not necessarily, oh, you make the best product. It's you figured out how to get people to notice you, which is the biggest problem. And that's the thing I think, if they could crack that would be incredible. Everyone has been trying to crack, how do you give everyone sort of some time in the spotlight and yet highlight the ones that are really worthy of attention? It's the impossible question.
Okay, well, I never use any iOS or Android things, but is there Marketplace anything like Steam where it has a just came out thing that just scrolls that you see?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But see, the awareness around PC games is just so much better, or at least for us anyway. And when we look at it, it's we know, basically it's okay, that's a good game, that's a good game, that's a good game, that one I've never heard of, so I don't know, that one's not a good game, that one's not a good, and we sort of know by looking at the games on Steam. But you go into the App Store or Android Store, it's just well, I've heard of Angry Birds. That's free, so yeah, okay, I'll download that. And then it's Cut the Rope. Oh, I've heard of that. Download that. The Fruit Ninja. Whatever. I've heard of it though. And then the rest of them is just I have no idea what any of these are, and you have nothing to go on.
Yeah, there's strip poker. It's
Of course.
And it's anime too. And it's free. It's oh, maybe I'll get it. I mean, that's the thing. It's that. That's the thing. It's the only thing I want from Louis is what kind of games are you gonna give me?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
That's the only thing I want from them. It's I don't care about your fucking hardware. Because the hardware could be anything. It could be a freaking NES chip. I don't give a shit. It's just what kind of games are going to give me.
Yep.
That's the only question I have for them. And the only thing they're showing is the Android games, because that's what the platform is built on. But hopefully in 2 weeks before I give my $100, you could do secure another exclusive or something.
So wait, how do these Kickstarter things work? Do you guys get benefits for backing them, or is there just people donating money to a cause?
So the basis of Kickstarter is basically, someone says, "Here's my project, but and it's really awesome, and I think you'll like it, but I don't have the money to make it. So if you would like to help me make this thing, donate some money." And at its core, that's what it is. But then what a lot of people have done now is that there's a lot, you can offer rewards to the people that donate or your backers. So they have different tiers. If you donate this much money, if you pledge this much money, I will give you this thing. Or if you pledge this much money, I'll give you this thing. So, yeah, there is something like that.
Oh.
The most hilarious ones are the one that cost like $5,000, and have a dinner on us.
Yeah.
But then you have to pay for the plane ticket to come here. It's like, I already paid $5,000.
I just want to say you've already given them $5,000 and start to pay.
Right, but this one at least they're genuine, but their rewards like you'll just get a system there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Ouya one, it feels a lot like a pre-order in some cases.
I just about to say, 'cause that's what it would sound like. If you're pledging $100 and getting a console out of it, then...
The only downside to Kickstarter is that they could just take the money and run.
This is true.
Well,
not really any regulation. There's not really any... they don't have to sign a contract where they will deliver whatever they said.
Yeah.
It's just like, it is possible that the money will just disappear.
But I mean, they at least do like checks on stuff like that, though, don't they? Because I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't anybody could just make like a Kickstarter project and then like scam people to hell and back? And it's like, what would you even be able to do about it then?
Nothing,
not
because the money you provided is a donation.
Yeah,
and that's how they get around it.
Oh, that is BS. This country blows.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you think. Like, most of the Kickstarter projects, until recently, most of them don't get funded. And if they don't get up to their funding goal, then no one gives any money. It's just like, your Kickstarter project failed. You get nothing.
That's horrible.
And so, Tim Schafer sort of showed us the first surefire way to do it. Like, be Tim Schafer.
Fair. He's made some awesome games.
Yeah.
So.
And I was like, so he has so much goodwill, and it was on. And then,
oh, dude, typical. That like kind of ties into the whole Satisfyer fans. They'll keep.
Yeah.
Sure. That did help him out in the end, didn't it?
So then, there was one high-profile scam where some guy he had basically stolen screenshots and stuff from some other game company. So his project looked impressive, and that's why people were backing it. And then it was like, oh wait, it's all stolen. And then I don't think anyone lost money in the end, but it was just, that was the only scare I've heard of.
Mm-hmm. As far as we know, anyway.
Yeah.
Because I mean, years come by and they're like, oh no, it's still in development. Don't worry.
That's the thing. It's not as easy to scam people as you would think. It's like you need to somehow still convince them to give you money.
Oh, no.
And if you've got no skills, you're not going to be able to do it.
So wait, you guys, so they don't actually get anything until after they've...
Right. So they're going to get the way that this one, the Ouya one, for example, ends in 14 days. Mm-hmm. At the end of 14 days, essentially any money that people have pledged, Ouya's people are sort of eligible to get it. So they can take that money. And they don't have to take it all at once. But anyway,
take it.
If for example, they take it all at once. They start fabricating these things, and in this instance, they actually have an estimated delivery date. So they're hoping to launch March of next year.
Yay!
So if all goes well, March of next year, anyone who's pledged more than 95 will get an Ouya console.
That's kind of funny. It's like you could just pledge an extra $5 somehow.
I think the 95 is like you pay 95 rather than the 100.
Yeah, it was like a limited edition, slightly cheaper one, which looks
yeah.
exactly the same.
Otherwise, that would kind of suck.
But yeah, it's been really exciting seeing the exclusive game. I mean, it kind of sucks that they have nothing to show yet. But the idea is intriguing, and it's cool that it's coming from someone who is experienced, even though the team isn't experienced. There's still a lot of what ifs, as Gamer said. But I'm hopeful.
What's the worst that could happen? I mean,
The worst that can happen. Oh, I guess not really news, but just as a side note, I feel like it's neat because the pledge, like the backers, even though we have no real stake in it, it kind of feels like we do, and it feels like, if you're getting it to develop for it, then it's not like you can just sit back and say, oh, it's all up to you guys to make this console a success. And if you're going to develop for it, you do have a stake in it in that case. So, it is up to developers also not to let it fail. You got to do, don't just port over Android games, because that's bogus.
yeah, I'd say that kind of defeats the purpose. So, have my cell phone for that.
Yeah, there's more to this than just cell phone, just Android ports. It's running on Android, but all that means is that you got to write it in Java.
It sounds like work. Oh, just gonna wait to see what everybody else does. Kind of rekin that.
Also, the console will apparently be only about the size of a Rubik's Cube.
What? Huh. Well, how does... What?
Only or?
Well, it makes sense. I mean...
Yeah, because it's using, mobile parts as they're cheap. Android because it's open source and people know of it. So basically, from Ouya's perspective, Android because it's free. And
but a Rubik's Cube is really
small. Parts. It's really tiny.
It's like the controller's going to be bigger than the console. It's kind of like the Xbox. But yeah.
It's like a mini GameCube. It's like a more mini cube.
Yep. I really don't think you want to compare them to a GameCube, considering. So
what would have been fantastic if the console was just the controller itself. You just hook up an HDMI cable to it. Oh my god, it's a console.
That would be crazy.
That'd be almost like the streaming TV thing,
Yeah, but awesome. Potentially awesome. Infinite potential.
Interesting.
Maybe I'll kickstart that. An Android system that's just a controller. And you just hook up an HDMI cable to it.
Oh, gamer. You should probably, copyright that or something just in case. Because somebody's going to hear that, and the next thing you know...
If it's really that small, man... I mean, just imagine the possibilities. You're like, oh, I'm just going to bring my system to my friend's house. Just bring it.
I just put it in your pocket and take it over. So.
Interesting. But yeah. I mean, I'm somewhat optimistic. But I'm also pessimistic at the same time.
So wait, are the normal developers going to be developing stuff for this console too? Or is it kind of just
I mean, so far, yeah. So one of the things that... if you look at what sort of happened, unless your game is AAA, it's very hard to make money on the consoles, like the current consoles. And in addition to that, sort of insult to injury, you have to first pay a lot of money in order to get the right to build on the console, and then, even then, you might not make any money. Yeah. So what the Ouya people believe is that has driven a lot of people who would like to develop games to iPhone and Android, because those cost $100, and then you can just use the computer you have, build your thing, and then put it on there. So even if you don't make money in that instance, you're only out $100 and however much time you spend,
as opposed to millions.
Yeah, essentially. So what Ouya's it's catering to that audience, the people who wanted to make console games but were forced into making mobile games because they couldn't afford to make console games. So, are the big developers going to develop for it? Probably depends more on if they think they're going to make a lot of money on it. Because right now, they already have a stake in the other consoles. They're already allowed to develop for them. They don't really have to worry about the money issue as much as the tiny developers out here who just don't have that kind of money. It's very interesting because recently there was a Ouya survey on the Kickstarter site that talks about, what are the top games you want to see on this system? And they were things like Assassin's Creed and Battlefield and, the big current console games. And you think about it, it's like, well, on the one hand, yeah, maybe these were just picked out by the community and then the community voted on them. So who knows how viable they are? But on the other hand, like, why would the Ouya people even put these up if they weren't remote possibilities? So, maybe they are going to these developers and saying, hey, this could be really cool. Look at how cheap it's going to be for you guys to make something on it. And, just look at the Android market. Yeah. Chances are you will be very successful on this console. So come on, make Battlefield for Ouya or whatever.
That'd be interesting to see if they were able to pull that off.
Would be crazy. So, yes, that is my news. Listen more to the other news.
I don't really have anything else. Oh, I have like a few things, but it's nothing major. Just the Payday the Heist No Mercy crossover with Left 4 Dead.
Yay!
I'm gonna play that soon after we're finished with this podcast.
Quick.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's only Steam only, but it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And the Cold Stream campaign is the finished version, is now up for a PC version of Left 4 Dead 2. So yay.
Yeah, I was wondering why Left 4 Dead 2 was like downloading like fucking 500 megs or something. I was like, what the fuck? But then, that's a map. Can't wait to play that.
Is there an operation this weekend?
Did I already talk about that?
Yes, you did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. It's to, we can play with Tekken because he has the characters just extract with him on any difficulty.
Sweet.
And we get the commendation. Can't wait to get another. I've softened up to the Hurricane, but yeah, that's another day.
I have default weapons.
I wish we could give people weapons. Like, I don't like this. Here it is.
Yeah, here, have my crap. So nice.
Another one's crap is another one's treasure.
Exactly. They would all
You're
be
rationalize it however you want.
I have default weapons.
The matter is.
Yeah, that's it, I guess, for this episode, and let's sign off, and till next week.
Awesome. Yes. Come back for more Ouya news. Aimlesspodcast.com. Thank you for the replies last week. Facebook and Twitter. No. Facebook, mostly. And iTunes. Subscribe. And YouTube, because I understand that's very active now. Woohoo! I mean, woo!
Product plug. People should totally pay us for that.
It's weird because we don't believe in it, but whatever.
I know, right? Even better. So, yeah.
So, RPG, any last words? I mean, any...
I'm dying, Tekken. Why do you always do that? I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just glad versus 13 isn't canceled. So, I'm happy again. Also, Kingdom Hearts is out next week. Yay, I still don't have a 3DS. So,
gamer.
Man, I can't wait for some new games. Seriously. I want to be satisfied.
Well, August is coming soon, so you'll get all your thousands of games that month.
Oh man.
Yeah. Tekken, always satisfied, but my hunger is never satiated, and it's insatiable, my hunger for games that are awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want the stream, or why did I say stream?
Why did you say stream?
Cause it goes in a circle RPG. It's like a circular stream that just continues.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Like every month, it's like month after month, and it goes in a circle, like the globe and stuff.
I do. Well, why stream? Do you want to go to the bathroom or something?
That's what it seemed like. I thought I was the only one that thought that, but it's okay now. I feel better now. It's okay.
Full hunger to like consume, like a stream. If I'm like if I'm walking like by a creek and I see a stream, I can just be like and, like go.
So you're gonna drink from the stream. It's not eating. It's not hunger. It's thirst.
But what other example could I use? RPG.
I don't know. You could be at a buffet or something.
Stream, like
you could choose something that had food involved. Just do a stream.
Put my head in and just blah, blah, yeah. But wow. Fight like a cricket, run like a leopard, pushing a beaver, the commander shepherd. F the haters, yeah. Just like Optimus Prime, I may be black on the outside, but I'm an Autobot on the inside.
Seriously, that's not how Optimus Prime works at all. I'm just saying.
How does he work in RPG?
He's a robot, so he doesn't have an ethnicity.
Doesn't mean he can't be.
Besides, he's like a truck on the inside or some crap, whatever's going on with his whole transforming thingy.
No. Anyway.
Yeah.
F the haters and
Seven.
Transform and roll out until next week. Oh. Reputate, wee wee, PSP versus good. Ow.
They make a cream for that.
Just another quiet day.